Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And today I'm going to be talking about the expectations within the disability community. And for everyone with a disability, it's totally different. But a lot of people who, especially within my situation, because I can only talk majority my situation, but since I started off as everyone telling me I'm, well, when I say normal, you don't take me out of context, but that my walking is my fault. I walk different because it's my fault. I took the blame. I took the trauma. I took the damage to my mental health. But after a lot of doctor's appointments, and when I say doctor's appointments, I mean real doctors who, well, I can't even say real doctors. I still have so many medical stories to share because even with some of the better doctors that I had, they they've blamed me still after the surgery until, like, I literally had to have the proof on me. And I guess that's where I should kind of start. What does disability look like? And I know my YouTube channel is as scattered and as messy as my life, but after I started looking at the Netflix movie Uglies, I started thinking a lot about what is beautiful, what's the definition of beauty, and does what does beauty get you, but what do you have to pay for beauty? And I started thinking about, with my disability, dating wise, I have met a lot of guys who tell me I'm wonderful and amazing, but but when I need to put my phone on mute, normally I do, but yeah, you know what? Life happens. Someone promises that they're gonna call you, so you try to make sure that they can't blame you for not answering. So anyway, okay. With dating and everything, I meet certain guys and they tell me that I am not of their standards until I am able to walk correctly or until I go and get a surgery or whatever have you. Some of you already know parts of the story and you've seen the screenshots and the proof, and I have so many more too. But then I have met other guys who they are more, I would think, the standards that I would desire. But then I find out that they just want to use me, or, and sometimes it's not disability. Sometimes they see my chest or they see I'm bubbly and they try to take advantage of that. But a lot of times it is because of like, once you see the screenshots, and I'll tell the stories, but I will be honest, sometimes I it's frustrating. Being bubbly is seen as weakness, but even some of the Republicans say that, and that's scary. But okay, I say all of that because with a disability, what are the expectations to earn love, to be loved, or to be hired for a job? Do you know how many job interviews I've been to? And they know that it's a business job, and they know I have my degree in business, which means I took an HR class, actually too. But they still ask illegal questions. They still ask, why do you walk like that? What's wrong with you? Is that permanent? Are you going to get a procedure? Or are there any medications that will help that during the interview? And a lot of people don't understand the mental, like going to job interview after job interview after job interview, and even catching So, like, catching some of them mock your walking and or telling you that, oh, it's like, you're probably not married, right? Walking like that. Yeah, when I say I've been to so many job interviews, I've been to so many job interviews that I have countless questions and comments from some of these horrible people. And yes, I have a right to say horrible people, because when you have no empathy, sympathy, compassion, or when you see someone that is different from you in any way, all of the sudden, instead of just showing just those things, you decide to twist it, make it hurt a little bit more, even though it's obvious, like, I know I walk differently. And to me, it's like I tried going to doctors, but doctors kept saying it's in my head. So when family and people at, like, for the interviews and dating, when everyone keeps telling me, it's like, you walk differently. Why do you walk like that? You're going to get that fixed, right? It's like, you have no business walking like that. But and or go to the doctors. And then I go to the doctors and the doctors tell me it's your fault. They tell me walk it off. They tell me pick up your feet. But over time, picking up my feet became harder, and the pains appeared more, and symptoms started to appear until I literally could not walk anymore. But I had to maintain my mental. The jobs I was able to have, I had to hide face. It was like wearing a mask. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, nothing's wrong. The only day I missed with the school in the inner city that I talk about was the day of my mother's funeral. That was the only day I ever missed. I missed parts of some days because I got the job to be an adjunct professor, and literally, like, they hired me, like, right, like, oh, we have a class and we forgot to find a professor for it, can you teach it? It was that kind of deal. And so I went to the principal, and so we arranged it where they found somebody in the morning and then I came in the afternoon. So literally the only day that I missed was the day of my mother's funeral, even though there were days where I woke up and I was just like, God, just get me through. Like, I don't know what's going on, but please help me through this pain. I have and I couldn't explain the pain to anybody because everyone kept telling me it was my fault. And so my community was damaged because no one believed me. Mental, oh, that was down the drain garbage. And then time, like, trying to figure out how to arrange my schedule or time to the point where now I have to work 2 or 3 jobs, because since I can't find the career job that I desire, all of my time is taken away. And I keep being in more pain, so trying to find a doctor. But then even the neurologist that I found, there's a 6-month waiting period. And I keep getting worse and worse, but at the end of the first appointment, he tells me to walk it off. And then I'm getting in more and more pain. And then that 6 months turned to literally almost 9 or 10 months. I think it was 9, but it might have been 10. And so trying to organize myself, like, my life was a mess, my car was a mess, everything was a mess, because I was working 2 or 3 jobs. I was hardly ever at home, so I needed, like, it's like my financials, like, I was determined to pay off my credit cards, start paying off student loans as much as I possibly can. If I owed anybody money, like, I was saving money, I was investing money, or I was saving money to pay back, and investing money and saving money. I started making like a backup, and also trying to save for a house. But then all of that went towards MRIs, CAT scans, blood work, and all of the other countless procedures in order to finally diagnose me. So yeah, let's just say That goes back to mental health. And a lot of people do not understand when it comes to undiagnosed disability, it's like the financial and then the community, because since you are undiagnosed, some people are not going to believe you. Like 80% of the people on my Facebook, they have no idea what's going, like, actually no, 95% of the people in my Facebook, they have no idea. They have no idea. And a lot of them are back in college. They didn't believe me. They teased me, talked about me. They said it was my fault, and they were just making so much fun about me. And that's why I have no business dragging Oakland University anymore. No problem dragging. So, anyway, when if someone tells you they are in pain, if someone tells you that something's going on and that they've been to doctors, but the doctors keep telling them nothing's wrong, try to be a comfort within their community. Maybe they need a shoulder, maybe they need an ear, and maybe they need somebody who will help them with the research to come up with another idea or to find a better doctor or healthcare provider. I wasn't allowed that choice. If you have listened to the videos, you are like, when I try to change doctors, yeah, let's just say trauma happened. So I'll move on, but I'm probably going to have an episode towards each one and every one of these. But while thinking of my time, especially after being diagnosed and trying to get my life back together, and then watching the Uglies movie, it just made me think a lot because, especially, there was this. I showed a screenshot in a previous episode, like last week, I think, but there was literally a guy who I met who, I was like, we met online, but it was a dating app, but we met through streaming. And he thought I was like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. You're so cool. I love talking to you. Until I told him that I had a disability. Next thing I know, he told me, well, once you're out of the chair or once you're um, able to walk independently, get then you can talk to me. He's like, because yeah, he's like, you're an amazing woman, but I don't want to deal with that. And like, it's been about a week, I think. He literally texted me and asked me, are you out of the chair yet? So yeah, when I put therapist, yeah, trust me, I need a therapist after over 35 years of being or being undiagnosed, being called a liar and everything. And then with physical therapy, because I was undiagnosed, everyone ignored me, called me a liar and teased me, mocked me, anything but treating me like a human being that just needed empathy. Yeah, I'm now going to need physical therapy for the rest of my life. And so add that to my time, which was in the last slide. So physical therapy, that's usually about an hour, but I need to drive there. And then trying to find a job. So find a jobs to the point where physical therapy I can get like right after, but that's the most common time. So it's like, and yeah, that's a slot where I'm probably gonna have to wait until 6. So what am I gonna do? Like trying to figure out a new schedule, and but maybe I can drive up if I can get a 6 o'clock. Drive up to the parking lot, do a therapist over the phone, and then after the therapist, get out of my car and do physical therapy. Bada boom, bada bing. But yeah, a lot of people don't like, and I know a lot of people who don't have disabilities need to go see a therapist, but I'm just adding everything up together because it's amazing how many people have told me people with disabilities just want to stay home. They're lucky they just can be lazy. They're just going to be dependent on the government. Oh, you're so ignorant and naive, and some might be stupid, some, but if you don't know the disability life, don't just assume. A lot of us would love to be out and about every day, working on our dreams. right now it's like, yes, I'm doing this YouTube channel, the Handicapable Black Woman, but then I also have the Handicapable Black Nerd, and I have 6 children's books published, and I'm working on the novels plural, and also working on and creating the greeting cards for my greeting card company, which will be up, I'm hoping, if not the by Christmas, it will be for 2025. That's my goal. Get ready for Valentine's Day. And then the candles and all the other upsells and everything, but I'm only one woman. But yes, I also want to get a job because I want to be able to get my finances, get everything together. It's like if I can find that career job to just like work the 9 to 5, get home, work on my business. It's like save whichever, like, so that I can either retire early or just so I can make sure I never have to worry, because having a disability, you never know if things will get worse or the situation or whatever. But okay. Well, I ended up splitting this episode between 2 different things. You understand. Anyway, it's like some people might ask me, how did you think of this while watching the Netflix movie of The Uglies or Uglies? And especially, like, one thing that I think would have been really interesting, which I might take to the Nerd channel, is what about if one of these 16-year-olds had a disability? How would they portray beauty then? Would it be beauty? Would they change it, fix it? If someone was either paralyzed or if they had an amputated leg or if they were on the spectrum or anything like that, would it be beautiful enough to surpass this procedure, this surgery? Or would it need to be fixed? Would it have to be fixed? Because listening to the movie, it says that it takes away anything that would allow judgment or for people to like bully or ridicule. Like, basically, I can't quote the line, but it's near kind of like the first 5-10 minutes of the movie. And living my life, especially now diagnosed, but just all throughout my life, when I tripped over my feet, when I always had to walk or touch a wall nearby, lose my balance. I could never do a cartwheel. I could never cross my legs, which, yeah, more trauma just thinking about that. Back to mental health. But yeah, because I remember even in middle school and high school, there were a group of boys who would tease me, and some would even accuse me of being gay because I could not cross my legs. And it was really embarrassing. So sometimes I would go home and I would literally like try to force my legs to be in a cross position. And the thing is, oh, another story time. I'll save it for a different day, but even being in Indian position or crossed legs and everything, they called it Indian position back when I was in elementary school. I used to get marked down with my what do you call it? Basically my attitude in class. Or I didn't have an attitude, but it's like sometimes since I would have to wiggle around because being like crossing my legs in like on the floor, Indian position and things, I would need to switch around a lot. I didn't know why, but my teacher would tell me to stop, or if you do that one more time, I'll put you in a corner. I remember one time I was in so much pain, or my legs were so agitated. I'm trying my best not to. And near the end, I could not take it anymore. And she put me in the corner. She put a 2 on my report card. And oh, did I get yelled at? And my parents were like, why are you just so bad? Why are you acting up? And I'm like, I'm not acting up. And like in during assemblies, I would try my best. Sometimes I would be like, I would try to like see which side of the gym my teacher was going to be on so I could be on the other side so she wouldn't see my legs and she wouldn't see that I'm shifting around. But no, she would look right at me. It felt like I was caged up and imprisoned, which I mentioned in a previous episode. I was literally imprisoned for over 30 years. But if I was in this society, would they take that away? Because then I would not have to deal with the judgment anymore. The teasing, the ridicule, men telling me that I was never going to be good enough for them because like they said I was smart enough and beautiful and everything, but since I couldn't walk right, I was out of the dating pool. So, is a disability beautiful? Is a disability acceptable within society as a whole? From what I have witnessed, no, it's not. I keep seeing how people see it in the worst ways and how people devalue and put us down to the point where no wonder so many of us have depression. So many of us just, some of us are caged up in the house because we cage ourselves because we don't want to have to suffer the ridicule, the judgment, and the insults of society, the bullying, the ridicule, being put down because of something out of your control. Nothing you did, nothing that was your fault, but society is choosing that it's your fault. Society is choosing to say, we're going to punish you by making you feel like you are not included within the society. You are not beautiful. In our eyes, this is ugly. In our eyes, you are not welcomed. You need to be fixed before we welcome you, before we accept you. That's kind of how it feels. And it's pretty pathetic and pitiful. Oh, if I was back in my women's studies class, it's like, yeah, I will take this to the nerd channel, but now it's like, yeah, if I was gonna write a paper or even my own version of the book, yeah, I'll do that. Because yeah, coming from someone with, because even with the disability, how would she have gone to the smoke? How would she end up over there? Because since they would want to fix her anyways, would she even have a way to get, like, especially a walking disability? Because I'm guessing in the world that they were in, since they did not show anyone with a disability, that they would have to probably, it might would be someone on the spectrum or maybe like an amputated arm, or because with that skateboard or the very technological skateboard and everything, you need both legs and stuff. And I don't think there was any other type of device or air other than the aircrafts. But I'm like, shoot, if she stole that, then dot dot dot. Or if the character with a disability was like able to steal that, then it's like, but I don't know. I guess a lot to think about. But what is beauty? What is, I'm going to be doing an episode where I read the definition of beauty, as you know, attractiveness, acceptance, human, and because all of that has to do within that movie. What is perfection? And if you got to choose what you got to look like, you're perfect. What would it look like? Because even the young lady at the end, she took the main character's idea of having the golden eyes. And once she had the procedure, she didn't want to go back. Yes, it's because of the brainwashing and everything, but once, like, she had longer hair, she had the golden eyes, she looked more quote unquote feminine. So she was their society would portray as perfect. But what is our perfect? And I know some of you already know what I'm like, because we're still trying to pass the Crown Act federally. It's like African American hair, we already go through enough. We're already still going, yeah, we're still fighting that fight. And if you knew of how many men tell me, you're not really black, you're not really black. But then with some white guys, oh yeah, I really want to date you. Yeah, but I just want to smash a black girl. I would never marry a black girl. It's like, you're great and amazing, but since you're black, yeah, it's like I need a white girl. So I'm not good enough for black men, not good enough for white men. Yeah. Oh, I've got stories about all the Asian, like Indian, and yeah. Ooh, I've got some stories. But anyway, having the disability, for most people, I already have one strike against me. And for some, it's all three strikes, because to them, it's such a horror story. It's like, to them, it's like a scary movie. Ooh, someone was born differently than you. Oh no. But then you turn around and you find out they're not perfect, but they're able to hide their imperfections, even sometimes their sobriety, or even if they're balding, they shave it all off, or the dentures they have to wear, even in their 20s or 30s. And I'm not judging, because I had to start using a walker in my 30s, but it's just kind of funny that I didn't judge them, but then they turn around, because since society can see my imperfection, they were embarrassed. But then I saw they were imperfect, and they trusted, and that's the funny thing, they trusted me with their imperfection. But anyway, you know the drill. Anyways, this is the Handicapable Black Woman. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But and I do have a disability. I am human. But most importantly, you're human, I am too. Human, and you're human. Please remember, too. Let's treat everyone humanity based off all humanity of us fit in the circle equally, of fairly, humanity, justly. Take care. Take care.